Did you know that a skeleton can be left-handed? What do these pixels on the loading screen mean? And how do you move blocks through glass? These are 15 secrets of Minecraft that you may not have known. Number 1. If you've ever had to build something high up, chances are you needed a staircase to easily go up and down. There is a way to create one without spending a lot of resources. All you need is a torch for convenience. Take a torch in one hand and a block in the other. Place the torch on the first block of the staircase, and then place the next block next to the torch. Break the torch and repeat the process. You will end up with a staircase that looks the same as usual, but requires half the blocks. It's a small but very useful trick. Number 2. Fishing rods are not only needed for catching fish, they can also be used to hook onto many other things. For example, fireballs from gas or projectiles from shulkers. If you try hard enough, you can even use them to set the direction of your flight. Additionally, fishing rods can hook onto anvils, activated TNT, and falling blocks like gravel, sand, and even dragon eggs. You can probably think of places where this can be useful. Number 3. Most likely you have never paid attention to this, but skeletons spawn with different leading hands. 11% of all skeletons are left-handed, which is the same percentage as left-handed people in real life. A cool but useless detail in any case. Now you know it too. Number 4. Have you ever noticed the strange symbols on the edge of the crystal? At first, they look like random lines or a language of enchantment, but let's take a closer look. If you take a symbol from the texture of the crystal, rotate and swap them with each other, you can get something similar to the word mahjong. It is unknown whether this was done intentionally, but if so, it makes for an interesting Easter egg. Number 5. One of the most common misconceptions in Minecraft is that placing a torch on a spawner disables it. This is not entirely true. The game does not have a specific rule stating that a torch disables a spawner. It just so happens that torches on a spawner provide enough light to create an illumination level around it that causes the spawner to stop working. If you leave a torch but do not allow it to illuminate the space around it, you will find that mobs continue to spawn because it is still dark enough. This means you can use other powerful light sources to disable a spawner. Although placing a torch directly on spawners like blazes and silverfish will not work as their light is insufficient. Instead, you can use glowstone or some other powerful light source to strategically place light in this way. Number 6. Sneaking by holding down the shift key can be useful not only to avoid falling off edges of blocks. Surprisingly, this ability can also be used for its intended purpose. If you are sneaking, the visibility radius of mobs is reduced by 20%. For example, creepers usually notice a player from a distance of 16 blocks, but if the player is sneaking, this distance is reduced to 12 blocks. In general, sneak to make yourself harder to notice. Number 7. But why sneak around if you can use mob heads? You probably already know that if a charged creeper explodes together with other mobs, it may drop its head. However, many do not know that if you wear this head, mobs will only notice you from half the usual detection distance. For example, if you wear a creeper head or a skeleton skull instead of 16 blocks, they will only notice you from 8 blocks away. In my opinion, this is a pretty interesting feature that turns a decorative item into something truly useful. Number 8. Despite Minecraft not having a point system as such, when you lose the game still shows your score, which actually depends on the amount of experience earned. However, you may not have known that if you die with a level above 21863, the experience counter will break and your in-game score will become negative. Number 9. If a dog is injured, you can restore its health by feeding it, and the dog will then happily wag its tail. But if you give your dog maximum regeneration, health boost, and absorption, wagging its tail will turn into a circular motion. It's not particularly useful, but definitely interesting. Number 10. If you play on a large server or experience lag even in a single-player world, this fact may be useful to you. Have you noticed that sometimes when the server lags too much, it becomes quite difficult to eat something? This could take too much time. Well, don't worry. Food lags along with the server, except for cake, because eating cake is different from other foods. food, you can quickly snack on it and restore saturation without being affected by lag. If you play on a laggy server like 2B2T, keep this in mind. Number 11. If you've been playing Minecraft for quite some time, you probably know about this already, but it's too good not to mention. Before we had soul sand elevators and water elevators, we used glass for item transportation. By placing a dispenser under a glass column, it will shoot items upwards in a very interesting way. You can literally watch the item pass through each block all the way to the top. It's a cool looking trick that you can create without much hassle or resource expenditure. Number 12. Cauldrons in Minecraft work quite oddly. Endermen, who usually take damage from water and try to avoid it, feel just fine in water-filled cauldrons, just like in Bedrock and previous Java versions of Minecraft. Mobs with fire resistance used to take damage in lava-filled cauldrons. In the end, you can burn in lava right under the water as the game doesn't pay attention to the open lava container and ocean floor depths, allowing you to burn and drown simultaneously. Not a very useful game feature, but it exists. Number 13. In newer versions of Minecraft, during the loading screen, there is a square with an interesting yet seemingly meaningless colorful animation. However, all those pixels are not meaningless. Each color represents different parts of the loading process, allowing you to understand at which stage the game crashes or takes too long to load the map. The entire square represents an area in the world sized 43 by 43 chunks. Each pixel is a separate chunk. Light colors indicate chunk status. Black is empty or unloaded areas. Gray is structures. Green is biomes. Brown is surface. Dark gray is caves and mine shafts. Blue is liquid. Light green is various terrain features. And white is fully loaded chunks. Here is the full list of all colors and their meanings if anyone is interested. Number 14. Explosions in Minecraft are great until a creeper sneaks up on you and blows up the house you just built. However, you can reduce the damage from explosions by using slabs for some unknown reason. Creepers and TNT will explode much weaker if they detonate on slabs. For comparison, I activated a creeper standing on planks and a creeper standing on wooden slabs, and the difference is obvious. So next time you're making a floor in your house, try using slabs instead of full blocks. Not only will it help save resources, but it will also to some extent protect against creeper attacks. Number 15. Raids in villages are not only dangerous but also quite annoying, especially when the raid is almost over, but you can't find the last enemy. You can fix this by hitting the village bell. All raiders within a 48 block radius will receive a temporary glowing effect. Even if the enemy is stuck somewhere in a cave, finding them will be no trouble at all. There were 15 Minecraft secrets that you may not have known. I hope this video brought something new and interesting to you. You can support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell icon to not miss new videos. You can also support me with a donation. Thank you all for watching.